Are you thinking of moving to Nashville but don't know where to begin? Making a move to Nashville can be scary, especially if you aren't familiar with the city. Hey, I get it. I was there myself only a few years ago. But Nashville is an awesome city, and I'm convinced there is something for everyone. In today's video, I'm going to take you around all Nashville's neighborhoods to give you a little taste of Music City. I'm Elisabetta Sheehan and I'm a realtor in Nashville. Thank you for tuning in with me today. If you like my channel, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notification for future videos. I post videos about Nashville and surroundings weekly, and I'm always happy to answer any question about the area. You can also grab my free buyer's guides by clicking on the link below. All right, let's start our virtual tour around Nashville. This video focuses on the main areas in and around downtown Nashville, within about 10 miles of the heart of the city. If you want to be close to all the great things happening in Nashville, these are the top neighborhoods to research. Keep in mind, living this close to the city means higher cost of living. I am not focusing today as much on the suburbs of Nashville, such as Brentwood, Franklin, Knowlesville, Mount Juliet, just to name a few. Today's video is all about Davidson County and everything Nashville proper. The first thing I recommend if you're serious about moving to Nashville is a visit to explore like a local. Honky tonks are fun, but once you move to Nashville, they won't be at the top of your list anymore. You'll be probably more concerned about things like grocery stores, shopping, exercising, schools, safety, and transportations. Since you may not be familiar with Nashville neighbor's name or location, take a quick glimpse at the map projected here. You can see the general location of each neighborhood. Keep in mind though, some of these neighborhoods are small and side by side with other neighborhoods, so they're often interchanged or lumped together. Let's start with urban and walkable neighborhoods. And our first one is The Gulch, zip code 37203. The Gulch is located a little bit south of downtown Nashville. The small area has an upscale, trendy vibe, and it's packed with things to do. The Gulch is extremely walkable because it's located between several different areas. You can walk to shops and restaurants in the Gulch, as well as other areas such as downtown Nashville, DeMondrian, and Midtown. The Gulch is ideal for people who want to be in the heart of the action in Nashville. The Gulch has everything you need to maintain a walkable lifestyle, including restaurants, bars, a grocery store, fitness studios, clothing stores, music venues, apartments, and condos. There's also a new greenway and bike path. When it comes to living in the Gulch, there are only high-rise apartments and condos. Moving into our next neighborhood, downtown Nashville and SYLVAN, zip code 37201. Downtown Nashville is truly a one-of-a-kind experience, with the famous honky tonks on Broadway and 2nd Avenue, which feature live music every day of the week, and the constant events going on at Bridgestone Nissan Stadiums, the Ryman, and Riverfront. Nashville has earned the nickname Nash Vegas. If you live in downtown Nashville or suburbs south of Broadway, which is really just the southeastern portion of downtown, you can definitely walk everywhere in the vicinity of downtown and maybe to a few of other areas such as the Gulch, DeMondrian, and Midtown, but it is a bit of a hike to get to any other area. One great thing is that you can get a ride via Lyft or Uber for cheap and get to the other neighborhoods. You should expect to be a part of the tourist scene in Nashville and be affected by many of the events going on downtown. The next neighbor up on the list is Hillsboro Village, zip code 37212. Hillsboro Village is urban, walkable, and has ample housing options. Hillsboro Village is located between Belmont University and Vanderbilt University. You will see a lot of college students, young adults, and families. Hillsboro Village tends to be more family-friendly due to the amount of single-family homes available. Since Hillsboro Village is right between downtown Nashville and Green Hills, you are really close to everything. If you live in Hillsboro Village, you can enjoy several bars and restaurants, as well as some great shopping, including several unique boutiques and a local bookstore. Although you can walk to restaurants and shops, you would probably have to drive to get to a grocery store and the other areas around Nashville. Hillsboro Village has a mix of townhomes, houses and duplexes, and mid-sized apartment communities. You won't see any high-rises in this neighborhood. Alright, next up is West End and ELLISTON Place, zip code 37203. West End, or West End Avenue, is one of the main streets in Nashville. It's essentially the continuation of Broadway to the west side of the city. Technically, it runs through the center of Midtown, but most locals refer to anything off West End Avenue as West End. This area is best known for Centennial Park and the Pantheon. Sidewalks line the street, making it walkable from end to end, as well as to other areas like downtown and Midtown. West End has plenty of dining and shopping and great local bars. A wide variety of people live off West End, from wealthy professionals to college students. ELLISTON Place, also known as the Rock Block, is a small segment of West End that has its own hip vibe and culture. The ELLISTON Place demographic leans younger, especially with its close proximity to the Vanderbilt campus. Moving on, we're going to talk about Melrose and 8th Avenue South, zip code 37204. Melrose is a small neighborhood south of downtown and just east of the ever-popular 12th South neighborhood. Melrose Main Road is Franklin Pike, a main artery to the city which turns into 8th Avenue South as you head north towards downtown. The neighborhood doesn't have any high-rise buildings, so it feels less urban than some of the other neighborhoods. Melrose attracts young adults and families due to its close, but not too close proximity to downtown and nearby restaurants and bar scene. There is a sidewalk along Franklin Pike and many of the side roads, making walkability easy. Melrose is one of the few remaining areas of Nashville that still hasn't been completely redeveloped, so more growth and change is expected over the next few years. And we make it to the residential and culture-rich neighborhoods, first in line being Germantown, zip code 37208. Germantown is one of the oldest areas in Nashville with an awesome electric vibe. The area is fairly small and is undergoing major development, so be sure to check it out before you make your move. Germantown is known for its annual Oktoberfest, when the entire city shows up for German beer, German traditions, and live music. Germantown is some of the city's favorite restaurants. The night scene in Germantown is mild, with most restaurants closing by 10 p.m. People who live in Germantown also love being near the Nashville Farmers Market and local State Park Bicentennial Capitol Mall. Another great culture-rich neighborhood is SYLVAN Park and SYLVAN Heights, zip code 37209. SYLVAN Park is so cool and has a friendly, know-your-neighbor culture. People who live in SYLVAN Park and SYLVAN Heights tend to be very involved in the community and are very supportive of their neighborhood businesses. If you are an active person, SYLVAN Park may interest you. With the McCade Community Center, Climb Nashville, the Richland Greenway, and the proximity to Centennial Park, there is some serious exercise potential. From SYLVAN Park, you can walk to West End and the Nations, but you would have to drive to the other areas in Nashville. SYLVAN Park is wonderful for families of all types or single people wanting to be in a more residential area. SYLVAN Park's living options are mostly single-family homes, but apartment communities are popping up nearby. And we can't talk about SYLVAN Park without mentioning, of course, the Nations. The Nations is one of Nashville's oldest neighborhoods near SYLVAN Park. It has received tremendous interest by developers, restaurateurs, and startups over the last several years. While the area used to be mostly industrial and residential, businesses are making the area a great place to be for shopping and dining. housing. Home developers continue building new homes in the area, which is attractive to home buyers looking for more modern, affordable options near the city. Next up is Belmont Boulevard, zip code 37212. Belmont Boulevard is a beautiful, mainly residential area located right next to Belmont University. Belmont Boulevard proves to be a desirable central location in Nashville. From incredible million-dollar homes to more affordable fixer-uppers, you will see all types of people along Belmont Boulevard. Belmont Boulevard is a mile strip with wide sidewalks and bike lanes on both sides of the road, making it superb for walking, jogging, or biking. If you choose to live on Belmont Boulevard, you can walk to 12 South and HILLBORO Village pretty easily, but plan to drive to most of the other areas. And now one of my favorite, 12 South, zip code 37204. 12 South is a great area comprised mainly of young families and free-spirited individuals. You will find freelancers and musicians at the local coffee houses and moms with strollers walking to the nearby park. There are some awesome restaurants and several shops that sell everything from vintage finds to modern apparel. From 12 South, you can walk to Belmont Boulevard, but would need to drive to the other areas in Nashville. There are a couple apartment options, but most 12 South residents live in houses along the perpendicular side streets of 12th Avenue South. And of course, we can't forget EDGEHILL Village, zip code 37212. EDGEHILL Village is a small village located parallel to Music Row. This is one of the smaller areas in Nashville, but still has a few shops and several eateries. The housing around EDGEHILL Village varies greatly, but is comprised mostly of single-family homes. EDGEHILL Village focuses mostly on commercial space and less on residential living, but if you can find a nice home in this area, you can enjoy the location and awesomeness in EDGEHILL Village. Are you ready for some nighttime fun? Here are some bar-hopping neighborhoods for you. First in line is the Memorium. The Memorium is a small area of town located adjacent to the Gulch and just south of downtown Nashville. The area is only about a quarter mile long with big outdoor patios hooked to most of the restaurants and bars. When the weather is nice, the patios fill up and create a fun city energy. There are several bars and restaurants, most of which are open until 3 a.m. The Memorium also has some retail, salons, and a spa. This area is ideal for people who don't mind the party atmosphere and want to be able to walk downtown, midtown, and the Gulch. The Memorium is all commercial buildings, so housing is limited to apartments and condos. Next up is Midtown, zip code 37203. Midtown is definitely a bar-hopping mecca, but has also recently added some culinary treasures. There are a lot of bars and restaurants, and some of them stay open until 3 a.m. The vibe in Midtown is a little more relaxed and less touristy, and is a popular area for locals that enjoy a vibrant night scene without mingling with the honky-tonkin' visitors. Midtown is ideal for people who enjoy plenty of nightlife options and dining out. As far as living, Midtown has a nice selection of condos and apartments. And last but not least, we're going to cover the All neighborhoods. And of course, top of the list is Green Hills, zip code 37205. Out of the other areas mentioned, Green Hills is located a third south of downtown Nashville. Green Hills is an area you can live in and not have to live. You can't walk to any other area from Green Hills very easily, but you can walk around most of the Green Hills area. This is one of the biggest areas in Nashville that has pretty much everything you need, from restaurants to grocery stores to clothing boutiques. The area is well known for its high-end shopping scene due to the designer Field Shopping Mall and the Hill Center, a development with local boutiques and well-known clothing stores. Every type of person lives in Green Hills. Living options include single-family homes, condos, and apartment complexes. Up next is East Nashville, zip codes 37206 and 37216. East Nashville also has everything you could need, but it is the popular opposite of Green Hills. East Nashville is probably Nashville's more eccentric and progressive area, especially embraced by artists and musicians. The area has undergone extreme revitalization over the last decade, drawing a lot of attention to an assortment of newcomers who enjoy a laid-back community and culture. East Nashville has a huge list of amazing businesses, from restaurants to shops. There are undoubtedly some of the best in Nashville. So many people live in East Nashville, but expected to see mostly young, hip adults and families at the local spots. There are all types of properties, including houses, townhouses, duplexes, and small apartments. Walking from East Nashville to the other area is pretty much out of the question, so be prepared to stay on that side of the river or willing to drive a little. And this is all for today's video. If you enjoyed spending some time with me, give this video a thumb up and share the love. Before you leave, do not forget to subscribe and turn on notification for future content. Thank you for tuning in with me today. See you next time.